Holy cow! Welcome to Donnie's Hangout Adventures. And, well, yesterday in the wrestling world, got more sad news. Sid Udy, I think I said that right, better known as Sid Vicious, Psycho Sid, passed away at 63. Sid reminds me sort of Brock Lesnar. Brock's a very private guy. He doesn't like to do a lot of interviews talking about his personal life, and that's fine. That's really fine. That's what Sid reminds me of. He was a very private guy, very private. He, when he wasn't on the road, he spent time with his family. That's what he did. And Sid was just a private guy. Nobody knew. That's how private he was. Nobody knew he was battling cancer. He was pretty much retired from the wrestling business. He didn't really have anything to do with wrestling the last few years. And he spent time with his wife, grandkids. That was it. That's what Sid did. He was very private, and there's nothing wrong with that. There's really not. More wrestlers, celebrities, singers, whatever have you, should be like that, to be more in their private life. Now, I was thinking how I wanted to do this video because I was actually a big Sid fan. I actually was. Now, I know a lot of people say, well, he didn't have the best, he wasn't the best on the mic. No, he wasn't. You know, it was like him cutting the promo and he messed up. And he he told Mean Gene, let's do it again. And he's like, no, we're live, pal. WCW, telling, Hall and Nash, I have half a brain. Okay. Sid wasn't the best on the mic. There's no denying that. You put him in the ring. Different story. And I remember when I was growing up, watching wrestling, and, wrestling, larger than life figures. Sometimes there's some wrestlers that they jump out at you. And I remember the first time I saw Sid on TV, I was just a kid. I might have been 12, 13 years old. And I remember seeing Sid being like 6'8", 6'9", 300 pounds. Just an imposing figure. The thing he could do with his eyes is something like an R.I.P that can do. It was just an amazing. And the guy could move that big and that heavy, could move like a cruiserweight. He wasn't a slow, imposing figure in the ring. He could actually move pretty well. And I think that's the reason why a lot of the big name wrestlers wanted to work with Sid. Now, and he's one of the few that can say, I had a main event at two different WrestleManias. Who can say this? WrestleMania 8, he had a main event with Hulk Hogan. WrestleMania 13, he had a main event with The Undertaker. Who can say, not many can say this, that at two WrestleManias, he was in a main event against Hulk Hogan and The Undertaker. I was always a big Sid fan. Always. I just thought the guy was incredibly, he could move well in the ring. I never really put too much stock in his mic work because I know it wasn't that great. It really wasn't that great. I mean, it's just the way it is. Now, there is some stuff with Sid that he gets criticized for, and the mic work is one. And the one that I didn't really want to delve too deep into because I think it's been beat to, excuse my pun here, I think it's been beat to death over the last 30 years. And I always thought Sid got the raw deal of it. Was it 1993, the hotel altercation with Arn Anderson, the stabbing and all that. I don't want to delve too deep into it. There's podcasters, and there's been interviews with Sid and Arn beating this story to death. I think that Sid just got the raw deal of it. He was going to be challenging for the world title, and they ended up firing him. And Flair got put in that spot. And Arn, nothing happened to Arn. Arn stayed with the company. So I always thought Sid got the raw end of that deal. Now, the one thing I will mention here is in 2001 is pretty much where his career completely ended because of idiot John Laurinaitis. Yes, John Laurinaitis at one time was a yes man in WCW. And John Laurinaitis always, people power. He always had some stupid ideas, and he thought it would be a good idea for a pay-per-view in January 2001, if Sid went to the top rope. And I remember watching this live on pay-per-view. Sid was never comfortable, like a lot of big men are, was never comfortable with going to the top rope. Sid went ahead and did it because Sid was a company man. He went ahead and did it even though he wasn't very comfortable doing it. He went to the top rope and his leg shattered. It was one of the most horrific injuries I have ever seen live on TV. He broke his leg, his tibia, his fibula. That was pretty much the end of Sid's career because of idiot John Laurinaitis. Sid, he even said in interviews he contemplated suicide because it was such a horrific injury, and he was such a lot of pain with that, and it took him 3 years of intensive therapy to even get his leg back to where it was, which was nowhere near. Yes, Sid did make some random appearances in WWF over the years, or WWE over the year, like Raw 1000. But let's be honest, that was the end of Sid's career. And that's sad that John Laurinaitis thought it was a good idea for Sid to go to the top rope when it clearly was not. With your wrestlers, you have to stick what they're good at. Sid was not a top rope guy. He was a power guy. And he could move. Trust me, he could move. And I know there's been mixed feelings on Sid over the years. Some were fans of him, some weren't. I was a big fan of Sid. I actually enjoy his WrestleMania 13 match with Undertaker. I thought it was a very good match. That's just me. That's just me. A lot of people panned this match, but not me. I actually enjoy that match. And I thought Undertaker and Sid worked very well together. Two big guys, and I thought they worked very well together. One of the first great WrestleMania matches for Undertaker. And you know what? Rest in peace to one of the best big men. And it's unfortunate. This is the part I don't like about the business. Is Sid's not in the Hall of Fame. The Hall of Fame building, it doesn't exist. He's not in the Hall of Fame. And I think he should have been in the Hall of Fame a long time ago. To be honest, he's one of the best. I think he should be on the Mount Rushmore of big men. That's just me. I just thought he was one of the best big men to ever come into the wrestling business. I really believe that. Now, I could have delved deep into other stuff of his career, like the failed Sid Justice gimmick. I don't think that worked. But you know what? I think I'm going to delve too deep into his career because, I really couldn't do it. I couldn't do it justice. Now, rest in peace to Sid, the master and ruler of the world. And condolences to the friends and family. Me and Mom are saying that's all for now.
That's all for now.